What's up, guys? This is Aaron, Move Fitness Manager here at your Southeast Portland location. All right, guys, so last week we were talking about finding our why and finding that intrinsic motivation. So this week we're going to dig deep down a little bit more in that golden circle and talk more about our what and our how. So if you remember for last week, we got our golden circle right here. We put a huge discussion on our why and the reasons as to why we're coming into the gym, the reason why we're focusing on these goals. Now I want to get into the details and focusing on our what and our how. One of the biggest factors when it comes to our whys and not accomplishing our goals is usually the fear, right? There's some kind of fear that's holding you back, whether it's fear of failure, right? Maybe it's fearful that somebody's going to judge you for coming to the gym or whatever it is. So the first obstacle you're going to have to overcome is that fear. And if you understand what fear is, you'll be able to overcome it, okay? And one good analogy that I like to bring up is this analogy of fear, and that's going to stand for false evidence appearing real, if you can read my handwriting there, okay? What does this mean? Okay, this means that fear is something that is intangible. It's not something that's there that's holding you back. You've created it yourself, which means that you can destroy it. You got to overcome this fear before you leap over into that what. Another reason why we don't go after our goals and why we don't accomplish those goals is because we've limited ourselves. Most of the time, we've got this preconceived notions already built inside of our mindset, and we need to break free of those. So a good analogy I like to use is elephants, right? Circus elephants. Whenever the conductor, or whatever you want to call them, when they're raising the elephant, they start off with a very thin rope, okay? A baby elephant, okay? Let's say that it's freshly born, right? They drill a stake into the ground and they put this little thin rope onto its foot. Okay, now at that point, it can't break free of that rope, but as it continues to grow and they continue to train, right, they use the same exact rope until that elephant is a grown elephant. Okay, now at this point, all the elephant has to do is to snap that rope, but because it's so conditioned to stay within that 15-foot range, it never does. The same thing applies towards you and your goals, right? You've got this little baby thin rope that you've got to snap, so it's time to break that rope. Next step in the process is we've got to be able to make these goals tangible and measurable. I like to set all my goals by following the SMART principle. Starting off with number one, you got S. That stands for specific goals. So in most cases, our goal is to lose weight, right? So let's make specific goals. I want to lose 30 pounds, or I'm going to lose 30 pounds. You want to gain weight? I'm going to gain 10 pounds, okay? Make something that is specific. Next thing is measurable. I'd say when it comes to weight loss, measuring 30 pounds is something that we can do, okay? Measuring, hey, this kind of makes me feel better. I'm working out because it makes me feel better. Again, that's your why. That's not going to be your what. So that's not going to be a measurable goal. Okay. Next thing we need to find is it attainable. Is it something that I can truly attain? Now be very cautious of this in setting realistic goals. Okay. Okay. Don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back. We just talked about the elephant analogy. You know for a fact that you can accomplish these goals. So don't set realistic goals, but we do want attainable goals, things that we can accomplish. Next thing, is it relevant? Is it a relevant goal? The last thing is time-based, right? Setting a specific time date of when you're going to accomplish that. All right, guys, to drive this point home, I got one last analogy, and this is a frog analogy. I got a math equation for you guys, or a math problem for you guys. So pull out your calculators, okay? In this analogy, there are 6 frogs. 6 frogs are chilling on lily pads, doing frog things. I don't know what frogs do, but they're just chilling there, okay? Hanging out. And then one of them just randomly decides to jump off the lily pad. Ask yourself, how many frogs are still left on the lily pads? Give you time to do the calculations on your phone. Is there 5? Is there 6? Is there 7? The answer is there are 6 frogs left. 6 frogs left. Why? Because one of them decided to jump off. He didn't take the action, break the rope, and actually step off the lily pad. So jump off the lily pad. So in conclusion, we now know what our why is. We know what our what. We've got our SMART goals written out, okay? Time to break the rope. Time to jump off that lily pad. If you have not seen our previous video, why is so important, go check that out. We'll link it in the description. Also, too, come check out our new location, Southeast Portland. And we'll see you guys next time. Give us a like on Facebook.